I came up with 5 action items that I think we should establish. And the first action item that I think was pretty useful is, well, first of all, look at yourself. If you try to teach and train others on CSR, well, how is you as a company already in CSR? And there I have some elements that talk about our institute, HRD Antwerp, in Antwerp. First of all, on social relations. You know, Antwerp and Belgium is a very highly taxed country, so it's very hard to motivate people based on income, on salary increases, and that's why we thought much better to do than just give money is how can we make their lives better, so that the combination of private life and professional life, that there is a better combination. And that's why we are very voluntary on making it happen for our people who work in the company, in our institution, that they can choose for full-time jobs or for part-time jobs. And about 36% of the people today are working based on a part-time job. Also in our company, we have about 14 nationalities, and I can tell you it works very well. It is possible with many, many people coming from all over the world, and when really literally it is the people from Iran, we have people coming from Morocco, we have people coming from the States, from China, from Japan, they are working in our company, and it goes very, very well. And also something I think that some female colleagues will appreciate, but if we take the 2 top layers of management of our company, 65% of the participants in our management are female people. So we have there more females that manage the company than we have male people that are managing our company. Also, so and I think there we clearly are in line with the Millennium Goals. Another one is on education. Today, about 50% of the people working in our company have education based on investments done by our company. That we pay them, about 50% of our people are being paid for going to school and follow classes. And last but not least, it's a very technical matter, but all the benches, all the chairs, all the desks that we have in our company are based on ergonomic legal rules, which are the EN rules. So we are using them, and as a matter of fact, about 14% of the chairs are chairs specially made for the people so that they can work in a very convenient way. So first of all, start with yourself, check where are we, and can we do it better. Another one is, well, action number 2, use your experience. There's a lot of experience in the company, in your institution, that you can use to build on, to proceed into a CSR proper manner. And for a Diamond Lab, for a certification lab, obviously ethics is extremely important. And there we have 3 guidelines, is be objective, try to measure everything, be anonymous, so that you are neutral, and be transparent, that everybody can check on yourself. And therefore, we have a very important way of checking on ourselves is, since 1996, our company is ISO certified. That means every year we have a third party defined by the Belgian government who come and check our laboratory whether we are complying to particular standards. And which standard are we following? We are following an international standard set by the World Federation of all the bourses in the world. This is the IDC rule. This is the International Diamond Council rule. We are following this rule. You can find it on the internet, so that indeed you can see whether yes or no we have graded your stone in a correct way. And I'm very happy to say that also CIBJO, the VFW, DB, and ITMA are also supporting this standard. That means that we are following in our company particular guidelines, the guideline on ISO, and then there's something important here, because there is some, ISO is recognized by the government, and also in ISO standards there is progress, where we had before the ISO 17000, well, there is now a new ISO standard coming up, which is being called the ISO 26000. And what is now ISO 26000? We are looking for our company in getting there. Well, as a matter of fact, ISO 26000 has to do with CSR. There are 6 very special areas defined that the company should comply to if you want to be able to get the ISO 26000 standard. These are the rules on human rights, rules on labor conditions, rules on ethical business practices, rules on consumer rights, rules on ecology, and there specifically you have to comply to the ISO 14000, and rules on development of local communities. So how are we as an institution complying to helping the local community? HRD Antwerp is preparing on this, and I can only say preparing because, as a matter of fact, the ISO 26000 only will be on the market, will be public by the end of this year. So they promise that by the end of 2010, ISO 26000 will be in writing, and it will be possible for companies and institutions to comply and to study to make sure that your company is indeed fitting within these new procedures. Action number 3, and this was a very tough one, and as a matter of fact we were very happy when in June we were hosting the executive course for CIBJO on CSR, and there the idea came up, why should we try to set up something like a center of excellence, a center of excellence that allows the industry, being the jewelry industry, the diamond industry, to have somewhere some tools that are helping them to come to CSR commitments. And that's where indeed we said, we thanked CIBJO and UNITAR. They said, why Antwerp should do that? Why should you, as you're a big diamond center, are you already very well integrated into the jewelry industry, why should you try to set up a center of excellence? And there we have some action plan based on the following lines. And here of course we use the diamond as a symbol. The top should be indeed start with the guidance coming from UNITAR. We're going to try to follow as much as possible the guidance that they are giving us. Obviously, we accept and are happy with the coordination coming from CIBJO. Here I think also CIBJO is helping us in a very nice way. We of course are happy that the Vice Mayor of Antwerp is giving them the support and say, look, we, City of Antwerp, are going to support this Center of Excellence in Antwerp so that we get their help. And of course, why should we invent the wheel again? And we have here, and we heard already, a number of very important names of specialist experts that know how to train people and are able to give good classes. Obviously, we're going to make, and we give our hand to these people and say, look, why should you not come to us and work together on putting packages together? And here we talk about universities, the different consultants, the different associations, so that all of these people can come together in classes where we try to make the infrastructure available. What we try to say is, let's combine all that unique know-how that we have here in our industry, and thanks to that we come to a platform that will help us to develop CSR within the diamond and jewelry community. And now we come to action 4. We have set ourselves 3 priorities where we should like to start with. And the first one, and that we saw already in June, and we will proceed, as a matter of fact, we hope to have a first class in January, early January, and we talk here concerning the jewelers who are here in the room, many important jewelers from China, that we are going to invite to Antwerp for a first executive class, because we heard it already from somebody this morning. If you want to work on CSR, you have to start at the top. If top management is not committed to CSR, it will not happen. That's why we think one type of class should be for top executives, that they have an opportunity to participate and be committed and be informed about CSR. So there what we try to do is, as we know in the jewelry business, many of the top people are very great specialists. They know very well what jewels are. But how well are they trained on managing people? How well are they trained on relationships? Relationships with their own collaborators, relationships with customers, relationships with the community. We think that we can add there in building up the expertise that they have already in their task orientation towards their expertise in the direction of relationships. And here we hope to bend the people a bit more in being committed towards the people, and that in this way they create companies that indeed are ready for the 21st century. That's the first level, having courses for top executives. The second level is, we are strongly convinced that any company that is committed to CSR should have a CSR coordinator. We have seen this in the ecology area ourselves. We have seen it in the ISO area. If you do not have an ISO coordinator, your company will never be in compliance with ISO. Also here we strongly believe companies need a CSR coordinator. We want to have a second type of class, a second type of course, based and oriented to the people who will be coordinators for the companies. And there we are happy with HRD Antwerp. We have an infrastructure where we are teaching classes in more than 20 countries in the world already. Obviously countries that are focused on the diamond and the jewelry business. So we are there already with a network of people that work in the area where jewelry is important. And last but not least, there's a number of projects where CSR is involved. We hope that also to be able to make our knowledge available to those people, to these countries that want to be more involved in CSR. And so we come to action item number 5, that is, have people committed to CSR, design CSR commitment to everybody. That should be a deliverable, but also if you have delivered, show, and we heard the word already, communicate about what you are doing And that's important also here, that we validate that with a diploma, that people in need will have a diploma, and then we hope that the colleagues of UNITAR and the colleagues of CIBJO will join our effort, as it is a common effort, and that we will have a diploma that is based and given by the three organizations that work here all together. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you. I've given you the 5 action items that we like to design for coming up with a program for CIBJO. But one thing is very clear, we heard it already in New York when you look at the news, but there is no excuse for 2015, the date set for reaching the Millennium Goals, and it is clear we have to take action, and that's why we use the logo from the United Nations, stand up and take action. We have 5 actions. How many do you have? Thank you very much.